everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Shamika Tom Graves, and I'm from the beautiful small island of Trinidad and Tobago, namely Trinidad. And today I'm here to speak to you all about a woman. You know, last night I laid on my bed and I think the Lord would have impressed it upon my heart that I needed to come and talk about this. I'm not here for likes, for subscribes. You know, I'm glad if I get subscribed and likes, but this is not the main reason or purpose for me being here. You know, as a woman growing up, as a young girl growing up, I grew up, I am the 11th of 12 children. And I grew up thinking that my mother didn't like me. I grew up thinking that. Now, this woman had 12 children of her own. And I grew up thinking that woman didn't like me at all. Because to me, she always used to beat. She was always getting on like if she crazy. You know, when she get annoyed, she would go like she crazy. She would be obscene at times. My father was never the type to be obscene. But you know, he was never really around, mind you. He always used to be working. He went from work to work. So we would see our father, you know, he would come back from his early morning job, probably just in time for us to leave for school. And then he would go in the garden and do gardening the whole day. And then on a Sunday, they would go and sell. And to me, my mother was so... The woman was kind of impatient. You know, she was always kind of edgy. You didn't know how to walk with her, how to talk to her at times. And she too had liked gardening. So as time go on, you would find she wasn't really a housewoman. So she wouldn't be there cleaning house, whatnot. The bigger sort of girls would do that. And the boys used to go in the garden and stuff. But the long and short is I grew up thinking that that woman didn't like me at all. And so I got married the first time. Marriage came, it failed. And I got pregnant for my current husband. And I remember I was living on my own when I got pregnant with my first son. And my husband, now he's my husband now, he told me at night, he said, you know what, I didn't want him to stay with me nevertheless. Long story, probably I'll share it with you all, but I didn't want him to stay with me in the night. And at night he told me, he said, I'm not going to leave you here because I was really sick during pregnancy. Really sick. As a matter of fact, at that time, I didn't even know that I was pregnant. And so he told me, at night he came to see me an afternoon, and it was going into night, and he said to me, he said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm not going to leave you here alone. It's either I get to stay with you in the night or you have to go by your parents and stay because every night you're sick. And I'm not going to leave you. And so I decided because I didn't want him to stay with me.
Mommy, get up.
All right, just now. So I decided, you know what, I will go by my parents and stay. At least in the night, that is what I said. But I didn't, it ended up not playing out to be like that. I ended up going and more or less living there. When I found out I was pregnant after I was more or less living there. Just basically visiting where I lived then. Right? And during that time, as I said, I had bad morning sickness. It was terrible. I don't know how to describe it. It's nothing that I've ever experienced before and not even as much after with my second child, Jaden. And I remember one day I was so sick and I began vomiting. And my mother ran without thinking and she got a mop and a bucket and she didn't even have on a glove and that woman started to mop up the ground. And I thought to myself, I myself vomit on the ground. I wouldn't be so worried to mop it up. I would scorn myself to mop it up. And this might seem as something small to you, but that was the first time I started to watch and, I felt loved by that act. And then I was depressed in the pregnancy. I went into a bit of depression. And she used to come and tell me, get up, you have to get up and bathe. Get up and eat something. Early in the morning, mommy would come. I never really liked milk, cow milk for some reason. I always, like I think that cow milk is just for cows, but it's a whole different thing. And mommy would make a glass of milk tea and come in and she would say, Mika, you need to drink something. Get up and drink some tea. And she would make sure that I ate something, even though I didn't want to eat. She used to tell me, you have to eat something. And as the pregnancy went on, she was there and she was talking to me. She said, I don't like the black clothes you just wear. You're not mourning. This is a happy time in your life. You're not mourning. Raise up, get up. And she gave me $300. And she said, go and buy 2 dresses for yourself. I'm sorry. So she said, go and buy 2 dresses for yourself. She said, you're pregnant. And this is a good thing. She was happy because, all right, I won't say what I was about to say. At least not yet, probably in another taping, recording. And she told me, go and buy 2 dresses for yourself. And I went and I got me 2 or 3 nice cheap dresses with the $300. Maternity style dresses. And I looked at these little acts, and believe me, with her talking to me, I started to feel better about the pregnancy and better about myself. And that woman was there when we went to do anything. She was there. Now, my mother is 72 years this year. She would be 72 years. She had about 4 strokes. And God has been good to her. She's alive and in a right frame of mind. My father is also alive, giving God all the praise and thanks to them. And mommy went with me with every single thing that she could have gone with me with. She went. She spoke to me when I didn't even want to hear her. She was talking to me. And she told me, my father is very strict. He's a very strict man. So even when I got pregnant and, I wasn't divorced, but separated from my first husband. And, you don't know how to tell your father this thing. And she told me, don't worry with your father. No, he's very strict. Mind you, he's very, very strict. He doesn't belong per se to any religious group, but he is religious and he's very strict. He was the disciplinarian in the family, more or less. And she said, don't worry about your father. I will deal with him. I never told my father I was pregnant. She did. Right? And both of them took care of me. And then I became convinced. Just imagine, when I went to clinic, my mother would be the first to greet me. And she wanted to hear everything. Like, she was so interested to hear everything. Everything she wanted to hear. And she became like my best friend. She was like my best friend. And of course, my husband, he has always been supportive, but it's not about him today. Right? She became as my best friend. And then I had few people in between, like my aunt. When I messaged her and told her, she was so supportive. And I will get into these things another time because I am a person, I like to show gratitude. I know that the Bible says that witchcraft, that ingratitude is worse than witchcraft. And so I'm a person that likes to be grateful. So I would speak about that. I have a very good friend in Nova Scotia, Canada. And she's like a second mother to me. She would always check in on me. And I'm highlighting the woman, I have another friend who is from here. And a day she called me and she told me, she said, Mika, when I was pregnant with my last son, the nurse came in and she spoke to us. And she said, God chose you to be a vessel. And more or less, she was telling me all of that. She said there were so many other women that he could have chosen, but he chose you to be the vessel to carry this child. And so it's a good thing. And they all spoke to me so that I would feel better. But I want to focus. I'm focusing on my mom through this all. And so I gave birth, and when I gave birth, I remember I got pain about a Tuesday night, about 1 o'clock. And I got up, I didn't tell anybody, I just was up and groaning and whatnot. And the Tuesday morning, like after 5, when the house was more or less up, I said, Mommy, I getting pain, and I getting pain since 1 o'clock. She said how bad the pain is. And of course, she had 3 children, not 3 children, she had 12 children. So, you know, she told me, paid early, whatnot, she took care of me. And then after a while, she said, 4 o'clock this evening, not passing us here, you know. So about after 2, she called my brother, and my sister-in-law came, God bless her heart. And so my brother, his wife, and my mother came, and they took me down to Sandy Grande. When I met in the hospital, I was already in labor. But yes, I was fully effaced and in labor, but I was only 2 centimeters dilated. And so I went into the labor room. They took me back out because I wasn't progressing in labor. Pain the entire night, grown on the labor ward. And the other morning they woke me up and told me, well, okay, you need to go and bed, probably early go and bed, because we're going to take you back into the labor room. We are going to induce labor. Long story short, because it was really long, really painful, really bad, about 4 o'clock this Thursday afternoon, they carried me to do an emergency C-section. Now, during that time, I didn't know. I started to call for my mother in labor room. And a nurse said, she said, I like those like you, you know. I said, what happened? She said, I like those of you who just call for your mother at this time. And I wasn't aware that my mother was outside praying, quarreling, because she wanted to know what happened to her child. And so I went through that. I had emergency surgery, and I had my son. We came back home. Babe, just put some water in it for me, please. So we came home, and Mommy took care of me. Now my first son is would be 5 years this year. In about 2 or 3 months, he would be 5 years. So at that time, she was elderly already. She took care of me. She took care of the baby. She showed me how to bathe him, although she bathed him most of the days. And she taught me everything I needed to know. And so today I want to dedicate this life to my mother, because I have learned something along the way being a mother. I understand today that it's not that this woman didn't like me or didn't love me. That woman had to be a frustrated woman. You know, I have 2 boys, as I said. I'm a mother of 2 and sometimes 3. I don't know if I mentioned that before, because I have a stepson. And I know today how difficult it is for a woman and how hard women have it. And mind you, my husband is a very supportive man. God bless that man's soul. God made that man and said, Mika, this is for you. This is my gift to you in the form of that man, Declan Graves. Right? I have my husband. He's very active in our lives, in the family life, in his children's life. And I'm saying to you, it's very difficult as a woman. And so continuing from this, I want to speak to women, because I have noticed a growing trend of women condemning other women. We don't have mothers in Israel as we are supposed to have. You know, you would have went through your experiences, and now it's your time to share, impart knowledge, to help another woman as yourself. But we don't do that. And it's sad. It's heartbreaking, because I know that we all need somebody. And, you know, I failed to mention few people along the way with my pregnancy and my support system and whatnot. And I would mention them in another video. But this is the direction I would be heading from now on. I want to focus on our women. I want to focus on how important we are to society and where we are today, the role we have, and how we have allowed ourselves as women to be defeated because of what other people may have think about us, what other people may have thought about us, what they may have said to us, you know. But I want to uplift somebody. That is what this is the reason I'm doing this. I want to be an upliftment and not I want to uplift. I just want to uplift. You know, I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I am like Moses. I am not of eloquent speech. As a matter of fact, I may be hasty to speak at times. And this platform may not really be for me. But you know what? It doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter because I just want to see somebody come out of the gutter, out of the pain. I want to see people grow. I want to hear your experiences. And so this would be the first of many of these videos that we would do. We would chat, give me feedback, tell me what you want me to speak about, what you want me to address. And by God's grace, I will do my best. And what I cannot answer from my own knowledge and can't share with you, I would seek guidance from God and from other women. So until then, I want you to take care of yourself. Okay? Until we meet again. Bye.